I'd like to call the Common Council meeting to order. It's August 16th. It is 6 o'clock on the nose. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman Ficus.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we move to roll call, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Mark Cristiano, who passed away last week. Mark was a former fire chief at Center Township and gave of his time, not only as chief, but volunteered all over. And it is a loss to our community, and we pass our condolences on to Mark's family. But if we could, for Mark, to have a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call, Clerk Treasurer.
Councilwoman Ficus.
present.
Councilwoman West.
Here.
Councilman Galloway.
Here.
Councilwoman Cutler.
Present.
Councilman Frankie.
Present.
Councilman Vincent.
Here.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Present.
All present.
Approval of minutes, do I have a motion?
I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Do we have any petitions or comments of the citizens? I do not have any cards. I don't believe anything on social media,
No, I'll keep an eye on it.
so we'll move forward. Standing committee reports. Councilman Frankie.
Thank you, Mayor. The school board met on August 9th. Mark Kosher, the president, read the rules of public comment for about 10 minutes. It was super engaging. And then Laura Francisconi spoke about cyberbullying relating to some comments she made, and made it clear that her comments are her opinions and no one else's. Mark Francisconi then gave his report, which revolved around opening date for this school year. They have over 45 new teachers this year, which is way more than a typical year. And Ben Tonigal, the assistant superintendent of elementary schools, noted their handbook will be going purely online for the first year, so there won't be any hard copies. Parents can access this on Skyward. They have a new data analytics tool which will help them see growth areas for students and groups and demographics within, in order to help find more efficient ways to improve their teaching. Greg Hunt gave a project update, well, 3 projects, 2 relating to traffic flow and parking lot, 1 at Kingsbury, 1 at Riley Elementary. I can attest Kingsbury's much improved. And then the final projects, the former ESC building, which will become the new technology department. They're moving forward with that and plan to transfer everything in there during the fall break in October. Next school board meeting is September 13th at 6 p.m. Redevelopment Commission meets August 25th, 5:15 p.m. here at City Hall. Diversity and Inclusion Committee meets August 26th at 5 p.m. here at City Hall. They recently shared a quote for this month, which is National Civility Month. The quote was from Ty Howard, which states, "Diversity and civility go hand in hand. The former is the acceptance of others and their differences, and the latter is the restraint of self to show respect, politeness, manners, etiquette, decorum, and kindness." Lastly, I'd like to point out that the city put together a football team yesterday and played the coaches of Pop Warner. I think to the coaches' surprise, we absolutely dominated and were in control the whole game. And the final score was 24-12. The good guys.
Anybody get hurt?
Sounds like a couple people.
Councilwoman Ficus.
The only thing that I have to report is that Park Board will be meeting this Wednesday, the 18th, 4 p.m. at the Park Board office.
Councilman Vincent.
Nothing to report.
Councilman Galloway.
Mayor's Veterans Committee met August the 9th. They're planning stuff for Veterans Day, and as far as the food and stuff, right now, everything's kind of up in the air because they don't know how far this COVID's going to be, but we're going to find out as soon as we can. Next meeting, September 13th, and I've been to a couple site review. Anybody want to hear what's going on there? Some site review? I've been to a couple of them. Do you want to hear what's going on there, Mayor, or not?
I do know what's happening, but if you'd like to, we appreciate your attendance there.
Okay, well, they might have a Smoothie King coming back behind Starbucks. Burger King's supposed to be rebuilding, the one on the east side. And let's see, across from around the clock, they're talking about a strip mall with Doc Smokehouse, a liquor store, and maybe another eating place in there. And that's all I got.
At least we can count on your secrecy, Roger. We do. Councilwoman
It's an
Keller.
open meeting, right?
A meeting has been scheduled for the Alcohol Beverage Review Commission, which meets only as an as-need basis, and it's scheduled for Thursday, August 19th at 2 p.m. at Council Chambers. An application for a LaPorte Riverfront District alcohol permit will be reviewed, as well as election of the officers for 2021. At the bid board meeting this month, the need for new Christmas light displays in the downtown area were discussed. The city planner will be emailing the board suggestions and costs for the upcoming season. The lighting plan replacement may be done in phases, starting with Lincoln Way as the initial goal for replacement this year. And the UEA will be meeting this Wednesday, August 18th at 4 p.m. at City Hall.
Councilwoman West.
The Fire Merit Commission is currently reviewing whether they should impose a minimum passing score on the written portion of the promotional testing procedure. Firefighters would need to meet this minimum score to be considered for promotion. They have asked the union for input before proceeding and will consider their recommendations in the next few months. Also, the commission was advised of Zach Caney's resignation from his rank of training officer effective October 1st. He is just resigning from the position, not the department. The commission will choose a replacement from the eligibility list at their September meeting.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Tree Commission. Tree Commission will meet this Thursday, August 19th, in Council Chambers at 5 p.m. HPC will meet tomorrow, August 17th, in Council Chambers at 5:30 p.m. Airport Authority. The Airport Authority just wrapped up a big week. The LaPorte Airport hosted Airfair 2021 the week of August 9th through the 15th, which featured the Arizona Commemorative Air Force B-25. It was a huge success. We would like to thank all those who participated in this event, and we're already looking forward again to it next year. There is a personnel update. Ms. Diane Schwartz's resignation from her position as manager, planning and outreach has been reluctantly accepted and will be effective as of September 1st, 2021. She has worked with the airport for 11 years and has held this title for the past 6 years. She was a tremendous asset to the airport and the city alike. She will gravely be missed. I'd like to personally thank her for her commitment and unbridled dedication to the airport. Effective September 1st, 2021, Rachel Bohannes will begin her role as manager, planning and outreach, and Eric Bobchek will begin his new role as airport director. Both candidates are well qualified and are eager to start their new positions. Fuel sales remain strong as they are still ahead of 2019. And the Airport Authority will meet next on Wednesday, September 8th at 5:15 at the airport.
Can you just confirm that tree commission date again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
This Thursday, August 19th,
Okay.
and we're going to have a special guest. The mayor of LaPorte.
Councilwoman West.
I wanted to add also that the next Fire Merit meeting will be September 1st at the fire station on 18th Street.
Thank you. So Attorney Otis asked me to nominate or have a name to appoint to the Fire Station Building Corporation. And I think you all received a email for approval of a young man, Nolan Coffin, who is.
Recommendation.
Recommendation, yes, for approval of a gentleman by the name of Nolan Coffin, as we look to have new people, different people, not the same old people, representing different boards and commissions. This is an opportunity for a young person in LaPorte to have an opportunity to serve, and that's my recommendation, asking for council approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Yes, sir. I'd like to meet the person. If he wants to get on it, let him get here and talk. I don't know him. Can we pass this off to the next meeting?
We can. I think the fire station building court meets once a year. So I think he'll miss,
Is there a meeting coming up?
I think that's why we had to appoint, because it's not been changed in
Long
some
time.
time. But we can definitely do if that's the council's.
I think there'd need to be a motion by you, Councilman Galloway, to table.
Well, I'd make a motion to table it until we can get him here at least next meeting. We can talk to,
Well, it won't be till September.
There's already a motion on the floor, though,
So we
He
have,
could motion to table the,
even after they did? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Do we know the date of the meeting?
it would be first Monday in September.
there's just,
No, for the fire.
I don't have the specific date,
I have it, I'll just have to look for it, it's right here.
but we know the September 6th or 7th, I guess it would be, because that's Labor Day. So it would be September 7th?
That's the council meeting.
Yes. I'm not
Can I
sure.
can I ask a question? So what we're appointing, though, is just to fill the final term, so only just another year, not, like, this will have to come to vote again
Correct.
in a year and a half, too. So if we do adopt a new person in another year and a half, it'll come up to vote anyway?
Correct.
Okay. How often do they vote on this? Because I don't even remember this.
So just as a bit of background, it's the way that, governmental entities finance projects, or particularly in this case, fire stations, the building of them. You can't really go take a mortgage out, governmental entities can't. So the building corporation is the corporation that holds the debt, and then the city makes lease payments to the building corporation to pay off that debt. And it's the way that, I mean, it's the same with school corporations, so the school corporations have building corporations that hold the debt, and then payments are made because they can't take debt on.
Okay.
And holding an annual meeting keeps us in compliance with the bond that we do have to
Correct.
pay that lease payment, so.
Well, I noticed the names that were there, John Kaler, and he's been on for a really long time. And how often does this board get voted on? I don't remember.
It was so old, we had difficulty finding bylaws. So my recommendation because the question was, who appoints this position? Does the mayor or the council? My suggestion was the mayor nominate somebody and the council approve, just to make sure it's above board.
Okay.
It may affect the bond, put us out of compliance, but we will,
Well, we have is there a second to the?
we first had a motion and a second to approve, so,
And he made a motion to table, which he can do. There needs to be a second, otherwise his motion will die and then you'll go to the vote.
so do we have a second to table? We have a motion to second to table it? Hearing none, we will move forward with a motion and a second to approve Nolan Coffin as a part of the Fire Station Building Corporation. Is there discussion?
Why don't you just tell them about Nolan?
Well, I agree with Councilman Galloway. It'd be nice to meet these people when they are nominated, but I also don't want this to fall out of compliance, and there aren't any dire decisions being made right now. That's why I didn't second you, Councilman Galloway, but it would be nice going forward if we could have them come in.
If he comes to the next meeting, I mean, can you invite him? He
Yes,
probably didn't even know to
absolutely.
come tonight, correct?
Correct.
And since it's not a full term,
Yep.
since he's just finishing out a term as well, so.
I can make sure, would that suffice, Councilman?
I don't know, wait till you take the vote, find out.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes 6-1. Welcome, Nolan Coffin. Second and final reading, and again, I would ask before we move to this, if the council sees opportunities that they're uncomfortable with, when you receive the agenda on Friday, please, I'm available on the weekend or before to say, hey, I'd like to see this individual attend, or if there's some other topic that you have while you're reviewing this over those days to bring before Monday at the meeting. So, Councilwoman Cutler, second and final reading.
Your Honor, I move to introduce an ordinance read for the second reading by title only.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion? All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Sorry, Councilwoman Cutler.
Additional appropriation for American Rescue Plan Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund, Fund Number 176.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Fund number 176, if I could ask Clerk Treasurer Parthun, this covers the two items?
Yep, this is the two items on the additional appropriation on the front page. So there is a housing incentive in a qualified census tract that I think Bert Cook could speak to, and then also park and recreation equipment on there. So those two dollar amounts requested total the entire additional appropriation from the American Rescue Plan Additional Appropriation Fund.
I would ask if we have both Mr. Cook and Mr. Schreiber here, if they could be brief and come up and explain and from the first meeting we had and discuss what these dollars will go to.
Good evening to the council. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the LaPorte Economic Advancement Partnership. I think we've went through this project in depth at this point, but the $185,000 is in relation to 701 Maple. We've talked through some of the details at the last meeting, so if there are any questions about what's intended out there, be happy to try and answer those. It's right next door to us, so I think everyone sees the progress that's going on as we speak with that project.
But with the main three items, lead, paint removal, HVAC, and mold
Correct.
remediation.
Correct.
Discussion? Questions for Mr. Cook? Thank you. Mr. Schreiber, park equipment.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. First of all, thank you to Mayor Germany and Clerk Treasurer Parthun for pushing this forward, and I hope we do have your support. As we've mentioned in the previous meeting, we have a significantly outdated fleet that, causes us to have to overcome quite a bit as far as being able to safely provide, maintain parks. We provide the free recreation exercise for all residents, but obviously our parks are also our gateway to our lakes, which is the key to tourism for LaPorte, Indiana. So appreciate all your support. Out of that price tag, $656,500 is for the park department. We have 16 parks, the trail system. We have over 850 acres of parkland to maintain. So you can see the need there. $139,000 for Beechwood Golf Course to replace a portion of their fleet, and then $55,500 for the Civic Auditorium for their needs, which include plowing, maintaining their outdoor space, and of course they do a couple of our parks as well. So, I have reached out to everybody. If there are any questions, I would be absolutely happy to answer them.
Thank you. So I do have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Second final reading of an ordinance. Councilwoman Ficus.
Your Honor, I move to read an ordinance for the second time by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilwoman Ficus.
Additional appropriation for Coronavirus Relief Fund, Fund Number 152.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Clerk Treasurer Parthun, if you could give a brief overview.
Sure. These funds were part of an additional safety grant, part of the Coronavirus Relief Fund from 2020. So we are asking for, or the council is being requested to approve an additional appropriation for $33,000. $21,000 of that is lost revenue from the Civic Auditorium, which was definitely used for the community's benefit during the COVID pandemic. And then the other portion is for a Color Safe Street grant, $12,000 for a Color Safe Street grant. So if you want to elaborate on that, you can.
Further discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Other business before the board.
I don't know if we need a motion to fix the air conditioning in here, but I'd be happy to do it.
I would
can get
gladly
you-
second.
We can get you a ginky or a blanket while you're sitting there to keep you
great.
warm.
We'd love you to take care of that, Councilman Frankie.
It was only 58 degrees in my office, so it worked well today. Any other business?
August 7th.
Yes.
We had a rib cook-off. Mayor ate his fill, and he even took a few extra with you, didn't you? That was some good eating, huh?
I tell you what, people that weren't there missed it.
Yeah.
Those were some amazing ribs that were entered into the contest, and so don't miss it next year.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second?
Second. Julie did.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
I got you, Julie.
All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
It's aggressive.